Hello everybody, Bruce Elgord here with a short video on how to download, install, and configure Visual Studio Code for Apple Macintosh computers. Let's get started. On the screen, I have the Google Chrome web browser launched, and in the address bar, that's where you type in the URL, I have code.visualstudio.com entered. That's code.visualstudio.com. It will then take you to this page, and since I'm on a Mac, it knows it. I'm going to click on Download for Mac, and in the lower left hand corner, it's a quick download. There it is. Yours may be a little faster, a little slower. It all depends on your connection speed. And I'm going to click once on that file, and it's going to unpack that file. I'm going to minimize Google Chrome. And now I'm going to click and drag the Visual Studio Code file name. Look at it. It's in the Downloads folder. We need for it to be in the Applications folder. So I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to let it go in the Applications folder. Okay, so here it is. It's now in the Applications folder. Since I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code a lot, I'm going to click and drag it to my dock. I'm going to put it right next to Chrome there. You could put it wherever you want. All right, I'm going to close Finder. And now I'm going to launch Visual Studio Code for the first time. And you may get this dialog box and click on Open. And there it is. I have Visual Studio Code opened on my desktop, and I just moved it to the center there. All right, so now that we have Visual Studio Code installed, it's time to install what are called extensions. We're only going to install one at this time. And an extension is like a plugin or something that gives Visual Studio Code some more features or power. So I'm going to click once on this icon that looks like 4 squares. And I'm going to type in the words up here in the upper left, live server. And it comes back, and you can see the first one that comes back, if I click on it just once, not a double click, just one click, you should see this, okay? This particular file, it may be a different version in the future. This says 561. So just know that this is the developer. This is the icon that you should see. And I'm going to click on the green install button there. So it's installing, and now it's installed. So I'm going to close this tab. I'm going to re-click on this extension icon here. And now I have Visual Studio Code. Now installed, that live server extension installed within Visual Studio Code. Now, how do we test live server in Visual Studio Code to know that everything's working? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to this icon that looks like 2 pieces of paper. It's called Explorer. If you hover your mouse over it, you can see it. It says Explorer. And this is where files and folders that you have open will show up here in a hierarchical form. Okay, so I don't have any folders or files open at this time, but in order for you to successfully use live server and do your work in this class, you're going to need to work within folders, not just files on your desktop. So what I'm going to do is I can either click here or use the menus. I'm going to click on Open Folder. And I'm going to create on my desktop a new folder, and I'm just going to call it Hello World. Hello World. There it is. And I'm going to hit Create. So now you can see right here I have a folder. It's on my desktop, and it's called Hello World. Now I'm not going to click into it. I'm just going to click once on it and then click Open. Now Visual Studio Code here in the upper left shows the Hello World folder open. I'm going to drag this a little out here so you can see. It says Hello World. And notice how it made the folder name all uppercase. Just an FYI, okay? And you see some additional icons here, okay? For now, we're going to click on this New File icon. You can also do File New or New File from the menu or Command N, okay? I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to type in hello.html and then enter. And what hello is the name of the file, and .html is the file extension. HTML files have the .html extension, and HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And on the right here, you can see I have my code editor. In fact, let's just make this a little larger. Okay, a little larger here. Drag it out. And I have this two tabs open actually, the welcome tab and the hello.html. I'm going to close the welcome tab because I don't need it right now. And notice how my font right here, the text size, right, or if I start typing here, right, it's pretty big. That's because I've previously set that font size within Visual Studio Code, and you can change the font size by going to Code, in the menu, Preferences, Settings, type in the word font up here, font, and then see the editor, text editor, and font, and see it says 36. I'm going to just dial that down a little bit and make it 30. And that's it. I'm going to close the tab now, and you can see it's a little smaller. All right, you with me? All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the power of Visual Studio Code to create my first HTML document, and I'm going to hit the exclamation point. Okay, there it is. It's Shift 1, Shift exclamation, and then you see this little thing pop up. It says exclamation point, emit abbreviation, and now I'm just going to hit Tab, and notice what it did. It gave me some HTML code. Some of you may recognize some of this, and some of you may not. But don't worry, we'll go through this throughout the quarter. All right. So what I'm going to do now is just right here on line 10. Notice how the line numbers of my HTML file are all numbered. I'm going to type in hello world, just like that. The words hello world. I'm going to press Command S, which saves a file. Saves the file. You can also do it from the menus here under File, Save, or Command S. And now I want to be able to preview this file because I spent a lot of time working on it, right? I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to this Open with Live Server option here. Notice it too has a shortcut, Command L, Command O. And now what's going to happen is it shows me Hello World. Right? And the name of this extension is called Live Server, and it's called Live Server for a reason. So check this out. I'm just making the Google Chrome window a little smaller. I'm going to make this window a little smaller as well. And I'm going to go to line 10 and add 3 exclamation points. I'm going to press Command S or File Save from the menu. And do you see what happened over here? Look at that. It automatically changed. I didn't need to refresh my web browser. All right, so I'm just going to backspace here a little bit, and I'm going to enter H1, which stands for a heading 1, the largest heading you can have, tag, and I'm going to hit Tab. Okay, and notice where the cursor is on line 12. It's between those two tags, and I'm going to retype Hello World with 3 exclamation points. Notice nothing has changed in the Google Chrome window. But as soon as I save it, Command S or File Save from the menu, you see that? You see that? Now, if you're not seeing this on your computer, go back and rewatch the video again. Or if you really need help, let me know. We'll hop on a Zoom meeting. We will be able to share screens and hopefully pretty quickly resolve any installation configuration issues that you run into. Thanks for watching this video and have a great day.